Alright, gang. Alright, bro. It's gonna be Wednesday. FOMC day. FOMC day. Alert. Alert. Tape reading. Trade review. We actually did hit a banger on FOMC day. Prior to FOMC because I only trade the morning session. So those who say don't just trade on FOMC day, bro, you tripping. Bro, you tripping. Look at what we got before FOMC. Look at this beautiful move in conjunction with the trend. So don't listen to them. You should always watch and see. Come to the charts no matter what every day. That's your job, bro. What the fuck? The fuck? All right, so let's get into this FOMC trade today. All right, and you know what I did, and what I can do better going forward. All right, so coming into the day though, we had stacked equal lows at Asia session lows and this 1 hour low right here, this daily low right here. Um, so that was just on watch in general. Coming into the day though, we had swept out previous day lows. On ES looked a bit better with the previous day's lows swept out, and we had this potential daily SMT right here forming right. After sweeping yesterday's lows and putting this potential SMT right here, NQ actually came down so damn far, bro, like crazy. So we kind of displaced past these lows in general. So I wasn't really too concerned about this daily SMT, but we were getting a pop up off of here. And as you can see, we got a sweep right here. We got manipulation in Asia session, Asia, Asia session right here. So we did get like a little 15-minute model right here. So now we were starting to, pop back up. But this move back up wasn't super strong. It was kind of weak. We only broke this order block, one fair value gap, and we're actually starting to wick out um, in this fair value gap and order block, right? So we only inversed, two PD arrays on the 15-minute, right? Let me make that look better. On the 15-minute, um, if we use our standard deviation, we basically had played out to that pretty well fully, right? Um, so yeah, and we kind of swept out Asia highs and Asia opens, so we're kind of just basically just we're kind of just stagnating right here. Now with this breakout to the downside and this bearish momentum, right? We're kind of expanding past these lows. I don't really care for this daily SMT too much. That's in potential, right? I don't really care for it too much. Um, with that being said, though, there's not like a ready set thing for us to go to the downside, so I'm gonna have to watch right here, right? And we've retraced back up off this 15-minute model, so there's nothing telling me that we want to go down right now or we want to continue to push up though either, right? So I'm gonna have to wait. So I have my London session lows and London session highs marked out, and once again, I'm more in favor of um, the downside, right? Because we have just broke out of this consolidation all the way to the downside, right? Broke past these lows. We also have stacked lows right here. Um, and this potential SMT really isn't doing too much for me just because we're in this bearish trend, right? And on NQ, we've expanded way past that, right? So yeah, if we get any signs of like, London session highs getting swept, which we do, I'll get into that later, with SMT or some type of highs, right, aligned, right, in these PD rays, I love the downside, right? Now, with this being said, I wasn't expecting this big of a move. I was more expecting, we're probably going to take London session lows, maybe a bit lower, right? We have FOMC today, so I don't think it was going to be too crazy. But hey, man, when there's trend and momentum, there's trend and momentum, right? So yeah, let's get into the day though. That's our context. That's basically what I was just looking at coming into the day. And then right at open, pretty much right away, literally on the first candle, we put in an SMT at London session highs. So now we've swept out Asia session highs and swept out London session highs with an SMT in some bearish PD rays in this huge trend. So I'm thinking now, okay, most likely we're going to go to London session lows and these lows right here. Or sorry, these we sweep out London session lows with a potential SMT here. Now, with this being said, right? Right off a London high SMT, we get this London low SMT. So already we're kind of sandwiched a little bit, right? And there's FOMC later today. Not the best sign. But with this being said, right, this we have nothing telling us we want to go higher, right? This, if anything, this manipulation from Asia session, right, had already played out, right? We'd already played out to this, right? And we have a lot of downside momentum, right? So off these London session highs getting swept, right? This is a more pronounced high, right? Than this low. I'm not expecting this London session low to be too crazy, especially when we have these um, stacked lows right here, and just a lot of momentum behind us. This is kind of one of those things, like it's just kind of intuitive, you know. I'm expecting us to still go lower. I'm not expecting this to be an SMT, right? This is just a potential bullish SMT at London session lows. And we also got to wait for price action to confirm it. I'm not just shorting right here, I'm waiting for us to get a model because I think we want to come down and take these stacked lows and potentially lower, right? So that we do. We take this internal high right here, sweep it. We have this first percent of fair value gap, come up into it, respect it, respect it, respect it. So order flow is still staying bearish, right? And then we get a unicorn model right here, fair value gap, market structure shift lower. We also got a market structure shift lower and a clean close on the 5-minute, right? Then we pop back up, come to the 1-minute first presented fair value gap. Same thing on ES right here, even cleaner though. This is technically on the 30-second, this is the SMT right here, fair value gap, market structure shift lower, respects the first presented 1-minute fair value gap. Now we come down and shoot down, right? So everything's looking good. Just on the higher time frame, you can kind of understand, right? We pop up in this this fair value gap and order block, right? On this retrace, come up nicely, deliver this 15-minute bullish model right here, and then SMT at London session highs. Now we're ready to continue the trend down, right? This London session low really wasn't, doing too much for me. I wasn't like thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna reverse or the day's over now, right? Because we're in this trend, right? I'm expecting us to go take more and more lows. Like this is most likely going to be our next leg down now because we're in a trend, right? We had our retraced leg up, now we're having an expansion leg down. That's just how it kind of works in the trend, right? Which is why trends are so nice to trade because you can get nice runners, right? So that's why I wasn't really scared by this London session low, right? And also, I'm not just shorting there, right? I got to wait for price action to confirm, right? We got this 5-minute market structure shift down. Sorry. What the hell? All right. We have this 5-minute market structure shift down with that fair value gap. Strong close, right? Below these lows, right? That's looking good, right? A strong close. 1 minute. We're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. I literally come back in the room. I had to leave for like 1 minute real quick or 2 minutes, and I see this strong market structure shift downwards with the fair value gap. I enter in right on this breaker block, or this order block, sorry, and I'm expecting this high to stay protected as it swept this high, right? We got the fair value gap down off of it, right? Market structure shift lower off of it. Nice clean price action. I'm expecting these lows to get taken, and then I took most of my profits off. I took half off at these lows at a 1-to-1 R, which I normally don't like to have a 1-to-1 R, but on days like today when we have FOMC and there's not many lows below that, you got to be safe, right? Then I took most of mine off. In this fair value gap right here. I should have stayed strong. This fair value gap is kind of just a random one. In reality, I should have went down in this order block, took profit targets off there, and at these lows, right? That I just kind of got weak at, so I should have took half off here, then like a quarter off here, then a quarter off here, or a quarter off in this order block and a quarter off at this low, right, to finish it. So that's where I definitely could have improved there because we're in a trend, right? You can also use standard deviation on this leg down. Look at that perfectly, bro. Perfect. You take scales off at this low. You can use the standard deviation just to gauge the range of this price leg, potentially, and find profit targets in conjunction with those levels, right? So we could have had lows right here, profit targets here. So that's where I could improve on understanding we're in trend, take profit target. This fair value gap was just kind of random. So yeah. And pretty much that should be it for the day. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, that's really it for the day. Um, the one thing I can say to do better is just, yeah, use standard deviation like that to gauge the range that we can potentially come into. And this fair value gap just was kind of random. I shouldn't have scaled there. I should have scaled in this order block, right? This is a larger PD array, a more, what's the word? Um, a more potent one, I'd say. I don't know. Just it has more weight to it. So scale some here, scale some at this low, and potentially if you're really feeling crazy, you go this low too. Um, but yeah, that's it for today. I mean, we got a nice SMT at London session highs with the larger time frame market structure shift lower, um, in conjunction with the trends after this bullish model played out. Um, yeah, I forgot to say, what did I say? In conjunction with the higher time frame trend as well, in momentum, that as well. In these higher time frame PD rays rejecting off of them. Um, that is, and then finally we got the internal model as well. That's pretty much perfect alignment for an expansion trade in whatever trend you're trading. So yeah, but time-based liquidity right here. That's your keys. Those are your keys. Those are your keys to the market. And order flow as well, right? Order flow is just kind of stagnating, kind of slowly up, getting ready to drop down, right? When what? Market opens. Time as well. Time-based liquidity. Anyways, gang, now I hope you drafted a good fantasy football team.